Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Trans-Tasman Derby between Australia's Futsal Roos and New Zealand's Futsal Whites. It's the second semi-final of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational 2013, and an opportunity for Australia to demonstrate their superiority as a team that has most recently performed at a FIFA Futsal World Cup, and for the Futsal Whites, another chance to try and beat their old foes. Place in the final up for grabs against Malaysia, who defeated Tahiti on penalties. And we'll pause for the national anthems. Australia first, then New Zealand.
And now, the national anthem of New Zealand.
So a decent sized crowd in for tonight's game to support the Futsal Whites. There are a handful of Australian supporters here too. You're watching this broadcast through OFC TV and our YouTube channel, as well as Summit Sports, free sports for Kiwis. Another opportunity to see Australia and New Zealand go at it. We were treated to an absolutely thrilling semi-final between Malaysia and Tahiti, and we hope for much of the same in the second semi-final. Your match officials stand before you. Amatesh Bahari of Fiji, Philip Mana of the Solomon Islands, Louis Malanarave from Vanuatu, and Tehotu Tairea of Tahiti. So the path to the semi-finals. New Zealand qualified in second place after overcoming the Solomon Islands on match day 1. They defeated New Caledonia last night. They were soundly beaten by Malaysia, while Australia have qualified with a 100% record. They had to battle to beat Tahiti 2-0. They were tested by Vanuatu, and here they are about to face New Zealand for the 4th time in the past couple of weeks. Toby Sito, the skipper, is a danger man. Adam Cooper and Wade Giovanali have both performed well, while Dean Lockhart is the ever-reliable go-to guy for retaining the ball and moving it around. For New Zealand, Marvin Eakins has taken the captaincy, and we'll hope that he can guide New Zealand to an historic victory over the old enemy. There are the two lineups. Constantino, Sito, Fogarty, Symington and Lockhart start for Australia. Ragood, Eakins, Manikim, Belay and Malivuk start for the Futsal Whites. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson. I'll be describing the action in this semi-final for you, and alongside me is my good friend and colleague Paul Tui. Paul, welcome.
Thanks, Gordon. Yeah, good evening and good evening, viewers. Big one ahead for the Futsal Whites. Australia have dominated them over the last year. 6 games and 6 comprehensive wins for Australia. And New Zealand have never beaten Australia in futsal, so everything to do there for the Futsal Whites. But we'll see how it goes. It's a one-off match, a knockout game, which they've never had before at this level. So we'll see what New Zealand can do.
Yes, an interesting dynamic, a one-off match. We saw what Tahiti managed to achieve against Malaysia. Australia, there'll be no shortage of confidence in their ranks about the task in front of them. They've held the wood over the Futsal Whites. For a considerable period of time. They'll be in no mood to surrender that here this evening. Mickey Malivuk on the ball for New Zealand and opts for safety.
Yeah, pressure on Malivuk from Australia. They'll press New Zealand hard on their own side of the court.
Oh, Sito, good work by the Australian skipper. Daniel Fogarty trying to find a way past Uda Ragood. Symington. New Zealand holding a very tight defensive line. Lockhart. Sito. Australia really in the mood here. Dylan Manicum is New Zealand's most potent goal threat.
Yeah, interesting to see the starting 5 that Scott Gilligan's gone with. Wada Ragood and Mickey Malivuk. So Burham has been starting most games for New Zealand, and Daniel Burns, but Burns potentially feeling the effects of that injury from last night.
Dean Lockhart has shed his locks for the semi-final, sporting a new haircut. Sito. Well, if the Futsal Whites can create and exert some pressure on Australia, maybe they could be in for an upset. Who knows?
Yeah, they haven't managed to score against them in 3 games this year. Gordon, it was 3-0, 4-0 and 7-0 down in Wellington last weekend. So that's the key. They may be able to hold Australia. They're well organised defensively, New Zealand, but do they have the kind of players that can beat the Australians in a one-on-one and create opportunities?
Fogarty. Sito. Dean Lockhart. Symington. Made a good impression on this tour for Australia. Mark Symington. Sito's shot nearly takes out a spectator. That wasn't far away at all.
Yeah, Symington, one of Stephen Knight's new players who's played his way into the starting lineup. Adam Cooper, another young new player who's done well on this trip to New Zealand.
Manicum for Malivuk. Constantino blocks for Australia.
That's another major obstacle, isn't it? Constantino facing New Zealand. They just, everyone's found it tough going up against the big number 13.
Yes, he's only conceded 1 goal in this tournament. Good shot from Malivuk. It wasn't far away. Australia first appeared at a FIFA Futsal World Cup back in 1992. They managed to win 1 game and they lost the other 2. Last year they defeated, well, they were beaten by Argentina
and Italy, and they managed to beat Mexico 3-1. Soundly beaten by the Italians and the Argentine team.
So it ended 21-year wait or a 20-year wait, sorry, for another victory at a FIFA Futsal World Cup.
And the Australian number 7, Tobias Sito, very instrumental in that victory over Mexico. Scored a great goal. Actually got a very nice goal in the final game as well.
Uda Ragud. Well, that's given straight to Daniel Fogarty. Nice scoop pass by Manikim. Malivuk battling with Dean Lockhart.
Fogarty, another player who featured for Australia. They brought 4, I think, from the World Cup in Thailand last year. But Stephen Knight using this tournament as an opportunity to blood some new players ahead of the AFC Futsal Championships later this year. Burns in now for New Zealand, number 8.
Burns. Eakins. Ragud. Burns again. Well, that's asking an awful lot of Ragud to get on the end of that.
Burns has had an awful lot of court time. He'll be tired. He's had a big week.
Symington telegraphed the pass intended for Lockhart. Eakins cut it out. Well blocked by Manikim. Symington. Lockhart. Australia with a lion's share of possession. They're knocking the ball around nicely. Crisp, clean, concise passing. And the movement is quick and fluid. Lockhart's shot. Good save by Belay, almost into the path of Symington.
New Zealand happy to sit on halfway. Just let the Australians come to them. They're well organised under Scott Gilligan.
Well, how the old master would like to put one over on his old team, Scott Gilligan. Taken on the mantle of Gus Hiddink of futsal. He's been involved as coach of Solomon Islands. He's had a technical director's influence with Tahiti, formerly with Australia and now with New Zealand, Scott Gilligan. So he's been there and done that. And now hoping to guide the Futsal Whites to the FIFA Futsal World Cup in Colombia in 2016. New Zealand's shape holding up well. Just over 5 minutes gone in the second semi-final of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational 2013. It's Australia 0, New Zealand 0.
Australia make their first change with Chris Zebalos coming on, number 9. Fulton poised as Dean Lockhart takes a break. And the impressive Adam Cooper comes in now, number 2, 18 years old.
Zebalos. Oh, it's right idea.
Yeah, good run by Fulton to that back post. Be interested to see how much game time Sito has tonight, Gordon. He, I think it was about 36 minutes against Vanuatu, which is a huge amount of time for futsal.
I think testimony also to the quality of performance that Vanuatu put in that match. They didn't start to fall away until very late in the game. They had Australia asking questions. Cooper cut out by Manikim. That was important. Zeballos was just tucked in behind Manikim. It would have been straight shot on goal for him. Manikim, good pass. Eakins in space. Straight into the hands of Constantinou, and he just rolls it into Cooper. Fulton. Toby Sito.
Gilligan, he'll be happy with this opening 7 minutes. New Zealand have to stay in touch with Australia for as long as possible. They can't afford to go a goal or two down early.
Space. Sito to shoot, and across the face of Elias Bile.
And again, that man making the run to the back post. This time it's Zeballos.
Eakins' ball just eluded Daniel Burns. Kareem Osman on for New Zealand. Osman with those distinctive bright pink boots. Manikim. Nice play by Burns, good shot. Tidy handling by Angelo Constantinou. Zeballos. Sito. Cooper. Shot off target. That was a good move by Daniel Burns. Look at the handling, it just stuck.
Yeah, when we talk about that ability in a 1v1, he managed to get away from his marker there and get the shot away, so important. Manikim showed it against Solomon Islands as well, although he did get a lot more space than he's seeing here tonight.
Nice move this from the Futsal Whites. Breaks down at the top of the Australian D. Cooper. Oh, not far off. Adam Cooper. Elias Bile has some opinions to share with his teammates about the defending. .11 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first half. Australia 0, New Zealand 0.
Ty Burham making his first appearance, 14. He didn't see a lot of game time last night. I think it was because he was on a yellow card, but very promising player, Burham from Hawke's Bay. Good run by Sito.
Barham. Nice layoff. James Vaughan. Always stretching for that, James Vaughan. Constantinou's not happy with himself. That's not his usual high standard of distribution.
No, it's been a feature, Constantinou's throwing and that trusty left foot of his.
Cooper coming short to receive. Cut out by Burns. Still with Australia. Zeballos looking to take on Kareem Osman. It's broken to James Vaughan. Dan Fulton robs Vaughan of possession. Australia really struggled to get to grips with the physical approach of some of the other teams in the tournament. Vanuatu rattled the Australians with their physical approach, and it disrupted their rhythm. Good save by Constantinou. Chance for Australia on the counter. Cooper slows things down.
Tahiti also, Gordon, yesterday, 2-0 it was, and we've seen Tahiti, they like to sit very deep, much deeper than New Zealand tonight, but Australia probably didn't find their rhythm, but they did enough, didn't they, to get the result they needed to finish top of the group. But probably haven't been in the devastating form that we saw a week ago when they arrived and played in Wellington 3 games over the weekend.
First touch for Wade Giovanali for the Fitzroos. Made a run towards the D. Zabolos continues to play to Sito. Checks onto the right foot. And that's taken a deflection off Ty Barham and Elias Bile and has gone out for a corner. Well, the two players fell in opposite directions, and Scott Gilligan will be happy with the end result. That the ball flew over the bar. Sito. Giovanali. Scott Gilligan having a word to Miro Major, who looks as though he could be injected into proceedings shortly. Eight minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. Australia 0, New Zealand 0.
I'd say it's pretty much going to plan for Gilligan at the moment.
Pile does well for New Zealand. Kareem Osman. Giovanali diving in. He's going to get a talking to from Amitesh Bihari and a yellow card. Miro Major is on for the Futsal Whites. Well, Australian coach Stephen Knight making his views known to Amitesh Bihari.
And a lineup of Major and Eakins to Osman's right. Ragood stationed near the back post.
Osman takes deflection. Miro Major will restart the game for New Zealand. Osman just thrown off his stride there as the ball took a deflection. Eakins. Pile. Oh, and that's a poor ball by Ragood. It put Elias Pile under pressure.
So an indirect free kick because the keeper touched the ball after having distributed it. It needs to go over halfway before he can touch it again, or it needs to touch an opposition player. So this will be an indirect free kick for Sito, and a very dangerous situation here for New Zealand. Wade Giovanali and Zebalos poised on the right, and
what can they produce from this? Giovanali, good save by the goalkeeper. Brave goalkeeping. Eakins. No options for him. Wade Giovanali was high. Can have a look at the save again. Ragood will be happy that his goalkeeper got him out of trouble there.
There's been a lot of room for Sito tonight. Third time he's flashed one past the post with a man running to the back stick.
Well, Ragood just having a personal struggle at the moment. He's gone over the top of the ball and given Toby Sito a wallop. Just caught him on the foot. 7 minutes, 36 seconds of the first half remaining. Eddie Alpire is on. Good save by Belay. Well, Rugged is getting run around the court at the moment for me, and Australia are exploiting that.
Too long there, Sito. 4 seconds. Mannequin back in.
Major. Mannequin up against Sito. Goes into traffic. Eakins tries to shut down Musumeki. Well, this is going according to plan for coach Scott Gilligan from a New Zealand perspective.
Yeah, certainly a lot tighter than what we've seen in recent times, but whether New Zealand can create something and finish it remains to be seen. Mannequin really the key. They need to get the ball into him so he can run at the Australian defenders.
Giovanali.
Haven't seen as much of Fogarty tonight so far. I'm sure he's got a part to play. 4 goals against Vanuatu and was very effective against that resolute Tahitian defence yesterday.
Sito and unleashes the shot. 2 balls on the court at the moment. Eakins goes to the corner. Jakob Sincora is on court for the Futsal Whites. Good defending from New Zealand, resolute. Not giving Australia too much room so far. Symington. Giovanali.
Yeah, New Zealand were keen to avoid the mistakes of the weekend in Wellington, and so far there haven't been too many, so well done, Futsal Whites.
Eddie Alkaya is at the top of the D for Australia. Trying to pull away from Daniel Burns as Symington tries to work some space. Here is Alkaya. Australia with 2 in the D. Sito cutting back. Away by Sincora. Well, we're going to restart with a drop ball.
Just a bit of confusion over the stop clock and possible timeout, but it wasn't a timeout.
Giovanali gets some of that frustration out of his legs and tries an ambitious shot from just inside the New Zealand half. And there is a timeout called.
Scott Gilligan calling the timeout. He'll be pretty pleased with 5 minutes left on the clock in the first half. New Zealand very well organised and everything going to plan. So for Australia, they'll be Fairly relaxed though. They've been in these situations many times, much more experienced, playing in the Asian Futsal Championships, and a lot of these guys involved in club futsal at the moment in Australia, so they'll be pretty patient. And New Zealand, though, I think well pleased with their efforts heading towards half time. Run straight at him, said Stephen Knight.
Interesting information to glean. Fogarty would be the best qualified of the Australians to deliver on his coach's wishes in that regard. Burns.
Pressure now, high up the court.
5 minutes 4 seconds of the first half to go. Interesting challenge for Australia to try and negotiate here. Futsal Whites appear. Oh, nice work from Giovanali. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, it was good work because Alpkaya was poised at the back post there. Good block again there from Burns.
Sincora lashing it clear. Angelo Constantino.
Stephen Knight not happy there, Gordon. A lot of work goes into these set pieces, and he had plenty to say to Sito there. I think he wasn't quite where he wanted him.
Chance for Symington perhaps to shake for a shot. Oh, and it's away by Marvin Eakins off the knee.
Could have gone anywhere.
Could have ended up in the back of New Zealand's net. But thankfully, for Marvin Eakins' sake, it didn't. Look at that, he didn't know much about it. Getting clear. Oh, Mannequin's away. First goal in this clash will be so important. New Zealand can start to create pressure on the Australians and see how they react. It's not a position that the Futsal Whites have been able to get very much experience at, truth be told. But the one-off nature of a semi-final or a playoff does strange things to the temperament of an athlete. We saw that with the Malaysia-Tahiti semi-final. Which team will be the first to bend in the pressurised atmosphere of a semi-final. 3 minutes 35 to go. It's been a real cat and mouse first half. Australia haven't run over the top of New Zealand. Giovanali so tidy on the ball. Zevalos tried to find him at the far post. Manikim, some tidy footwork of his own. Burns off Giovanali. Jakobsen Kora of Czech Republic origin. Oh, and there's a problem here for the Futsal Whites. Zeballos. Giovanali. Eakin stood his ground, defended the D bravely, and keeps Australia out. The Futsal Whites won't want to concede so close to half-time. For Australia, the psychological blow they could inflict here if they do score could be immeasurable. The pace just picking up.
New Zealand very deep now, much like Tahiti in the previous game.
Mickey Malivuk is subbed in. Yes, you're quite right, Paul. It's got that look about it. Dan Fulton.
Very effective though. Well done, New Zealand. Quite a lot of pressure building. Fogarty in now for the last 2 minutes. He can run at players. Very dangerous player, the number 10 for Australia.
Yes, he's that rare player that combines ruthless efficiency and combativeness with a level of technical ability that's attractive to watch. Daniel Fogarty, scorer of goals, and likes to mix it up.
There he is, bombing high now. Just dropping into this near side.
A minute 35 seconds to go in the first half. Australia 0, New Zealand 0. Belief growing for the Futsal Whites that perhaps...
Just that first step inside. Looking to cut in. Biding his time with a nutmeg there. There he is. Well blocked by Malivuk, but that's the danger of Fogarty. A nice little 1-2 on the edge of the D. And Futsal Whites live to tell the tale.
Well played by Zeballos again. Fogarty tried to unleash a toe poke. Manikim holds off Zeballos. Malivuk. Major. Daniel Fulton in the D for Australia. So is Chris Zeballos. Sito looking for movement ahead of him. .39 seconds to go and counting. Oh, chance for Zeballos, and it's wrapped right across the face of the New Zealand goal, and that's some pretty fantastic work from Daniel Fogarty. Ran into the goal and then
nice work from Malivuk too, wasn't it, to save the goal from toppling over.
32.4 seconds on the clock remain in the first half.
Malivuk stationed very high for New Zealand in that pivot position just on the edge of the Australian D. New Zealand will look to go long, and one last throw of the dice if they can get it to Manikim.
Oh, good strike, great save. Angelo Constantino with a great save from a Manikim shot. Says a lot for Constantino's power of concentration. He didn't have a lot to do throughout most of this half, and he was called into action there.
And too long, I think, from Miro Major as New Zealand get organised again, back on their own half of the court. 26 seconds on the clock. Sito and Fogarty combining.
Fogarty, nice work. Oh, that's a good goal. Zeballos breaks the deadlock with 14.7 seconds remaining in the first half. Daniel Fogarty, that was class. The finish matched the quality of the run, and that's what separates these two sides.
Indeed, Gordon. Players that can create, so valuable in futsal. New Zealand have done well, but just been picked apart there by a player who's willing to run at players, and a good ball into the back post where Zeballos applied a nice back heel.
Half time. Australia 1, New Zealand 0. Chris Zeballos, the goal scorer. And psychological blow for the futsal Whites, but they've got 20 more minutes at least to come back in, and they've got 6 or 7 minutes now to listen to the wise words of coach Scott Gilligan as they plot a course out of these troubled waters. Let's take a look at the highlights of an intriguing first half. Daniel Fogarty set Australia up for this effort. Good save by Elias Belay. Strike from Dean Lockhart. New Zealand. Good work from Daniel Burns. Shot plucked out of the air by Angelo Constantino. Futsalroos were nearly a goal ahead through this effort from Tobias Sito. Likes to cut in on that right foot. It was a combination of Ty Barham and Elias Belay. And then Belay came to the rescue of his team again with some brave goalkeeping. Blocking Wade Giovanali's shot. Look at this footwork. Giovanali at Daniel Burns again. Symington almost forced Marvin Eakins into an error. This cross-come shot worked away by the New Zealand player. And then Giovanali had another shot, this time blocked again by Eakins. Nice work in the lead-up by Zeballos again. And Daniel Fogarty almost getting on the end of another Zeballos play. Dylan Manikim had the New Zealand supporters up, and Angelo Constantino as well. Period of quiet for the Australian goalkeeper, and he was brought to life, and then Australia took the lead. Bit of magic from Daniel Fogarty. Look what he does to Daniel Burns here. Just leaves him in his wake. The cross, low and powerful. Zeballos applied a wonderful touch. Look at that, just dancing past the New Zealanders. And Australia lead at half-time by a goal to 0. So the match delicately poised, 1-0 in favour of Australia. We'll take a short break and come back with you in 6 or 7 minutes' time for the second half. Australia 1, New Zealand 0. That's the halftime score in the second semi-final of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational 2013. A Chris Zeballos goal with just 20-odd seconds or less on the clock before the break. And Steve Knight's team is sitting pretty to join Malaysia in an all-AFC final, unless New Zealand can come up with an answer in the second half. There have been three other games played today. New Zealand Invitational finished 7th after beating New Caledonia 4-2. Solomon Islands down to Vanuatu 11-5 to claim 5th. While in the first semi-final, Malaysia beat Tahiti on penalties 4-3 to advance to the final. There will be a third place playoff on Saturday. That will be between Tahiti and the loser of this game, while the final is taking place at 8 o'clock New Zealand local time. That game will be brought to you by OFC TV via our YouTube channel. It's also going to be broadcast by our good friends and colleagues at Summit Sports on Sunday. Those times are available for you if you visit www.oceaniafootball.com. And this is what separates the two sides. Daniel Fogarty with some mercurial work on the ball on the right. Took Daniel Burns out of the picture. Elias Bile was also cancelled out, and Chris Zeballos was left to apply this quality finish with the inside of his right instep. And joy for the Futsal Roos. So Summit Sports, our broadcast partner, have taken all 4 matches on match day 4 from this tournament, and it's our pleasure to work with them to provide coverage of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational 2013. There was also a live broadcast to the Solomon Islands of the 5th place playoff through TTV, and everybody in the West Pacific of a Solomon Islands persuasion was able to enjoy the Solomon Kurukuru returning to top form, or something like it. So Paul, what have New Zealand got to do to get back into the game? They've got to bring Dylan Manicum to the fore.
Yeah, I think at some point Scott Gilligan will have to get the team to press the Australians. They've sat quite deep, and really they've done all they can do. It was a blow conceding that goal, but at some point they're going to have to put pressure on Sito at the back. We saw in the Vanuatu game that Australia didn't really like it. It knocked them off their rhythm. And for me, it's just a question of when. Do they do it straight away, or do they try and just keep Australia till 5-6 minutes before the end and then hope they can do it, create an error and get an equaliser? But at some point they're going to have to change something.
Yes, the risk of going for it early is, of course, getting picked off. And then the semi-final, just running away from you utterly. Whereas if you do continue to keep the shape tight, you might be able to claw back an equaliser. And just a reminder, if the scores are level at the end of the second half, Ty Barham's going to get penalised here. He can't have any complaints. If the scores are level at the end of normal time, there are 2 periods of 5 minutes of extra time, and if we're level still, it's penalties. Oh, good save by Bile. I think it was more instinct than planned. Zeballos welcoming the New Zealand keeper to the second half. Fogarty making a run across the base of the D. He's recycled out. He's on the ball now. Zeballos, Fulton. Australia going for the throat. Well, Australia quite happy to leave two players high up on
and
Eakins and Burns.
That's right, and just seeing there, Eakins just pressured by Zeballos and the ball going into touch. So back with Australia, New Zealand still sitting quite deep. So I think it's just going to carry on as it was, at least for this next phase of play. See Burham just sitting, waiting. Here's Fogarty. Plenty of time for Sito to pick out who he wants to play the ball to.
Fogarty tried to thread a ball through to Fulton. Zeballos, Sito. Oh, and just out of reach of Fulton again. Well played by Eakins. Manicum. Well, New Zealand complaining that Sito blocked Manicum on his way through. There he is, he's chosen the right-hand side, and yeah, there's case evidence there. Fogarty. Symington. It's unlike Toby Sito to lose possession with a poor touch. Chance to make amends here. Symington. Zeballos. Australia just starting to crank through their gears at the moment. Fogarty taking on Burns. Oh, that's the side netting.
He's giving Burns a torrid time on that far side. He beat him in the first half to get that ball into Zeballos for the first goal. And once again, just going around Burns, but couldn't drag it across the goal and into the side netting.
Chris Zeballos looking to take on the New Zealanders. He's tried to bustle his way through. No dice for him. Three minutes into the second half, it's been all Australia so far. Zeballos pressing on Eakins. Manicum looked as though he got caught in two minds, whether to take that on the chest or just turn and chase. Eakins header. Osman. Burns somehow kept that in. It's broken kindly for New Zealand. Burns. Oh, that's not a bad ball. Kareem Osman goes close. Well, Daniel Burns is capable of moments like that. That's a wonderful ball through. Kareem Osman had the goal lining up, but he's taken a big hit to the face. I think he's hit his head against the court and damaged his eye socket. That seems to be the message he's conveying. He's checking his own elbow. fit to continue, it looks like. Constantinou is conducting running repairs and having a good stretch. Good save by the keeper. Oof. Ouch.
New Zealand continuing to wait for Australia to cross that halfway line. Largely working for them, but once again at some point they need to find themselves with the ball in Australia's half of the court.
Ball played by Eakins just in behind Duda Ragood. Well played, Ragood against Adam Cooper. Fogarty, Symington. So Australia will be quite content to continue in this vein.
Yeah, Fogarty like a kamikaze pilot, hunting Eakins and Burns when they're on the ball in their own half.
Defensively, they've been unflustered, the Australians. Although if we cast our minds back to Tahiti's 2-0 defeat, they pretty much experienced the same dearth of chances as New Zealand have. Oh, Ragood, he's in a good position, sets it up for Manikim. A good double save from Angelo Constantinou. For a big goalkeeper, he gets himself around the court, high and low. Good save with the right hand, and then a double-handed save for the follow-through.
Yeah, definitely similarities with Tahiti. I think just that point that at some point, if you're down, you need to come out and try and win it back high up in the opposition court. You've got to roll the dice a little bit, because if they sit like this, they don't counter-attack perhaps with enough speed and precision at this stage to really trouble Australia. They may get a lucky break, of course, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gilligan changes his approach at some point.
Well, the flying goalkeeper as a tactic was applied by Malaysia in their semi-final with Tahiti. And Scott Gilligan not a fan of that approach with this New Zealand side. There was an attempt made to play with a flying goalkeeper in a series not so long ago, and there was a feeling that oh, and look at that, our cameraman gets a whack for his troubles. There was a feeling that the tactic doesn't work with this group, but they may be forced into it if they're going to try and battle back here.
It's one of those things you have to practice a lot, and this group, New Zealand, perhaps doesn't get together enough to be able to do that. I think Gilligan would like to use it, but I'm just not sure Marvin Eakins enjoyed that experience last time, but maybe there's someone else in the side who he can go to for that option.
No, they were pushing Australia really close, if memory serves me correctly, and the scoreline blew out as New Zealand struggled to come to grips with the concept of the flying goalkeeper, and morale took a bit of a hit. There was a comprehension that it was all part of a learning curve and it was the appropriate time to experiment, but this is another step up in a semi-final of a tournament.
Yes, that's right. I recall that, Gordon, game 2 of the Trans-Tasman Cup last year, and I think they conceded 3 while they had Ekins as the 5th man. Ended up 6-1. But New Zealand holding their own, doing well.
Ragood, oh, and he's missed it. Australia get a wake-up call. And New Zealand, that was the moment.
Yeah, nice ball. Well picked out by Osman, I think.
Oh dear.
Or was it Ragood? But Burns just putting it over the top. But that could have been 1-1, and then New Zealand could have continued to sit deep.
Yes, you have to take chances as they're presented to you. And that was a really good chance for the Futsal Whites. Miro Major. Ragood, nice wee turn. Kareem Osman. Trouble here for the Futsal Whites. Sito might fancy this himself. Oh, good save. Daniel Fogarty struck it well.
Great save and from a great run from Fogarty again, the danger man, and nice work from Sito as well. But got to hand it to Elias Pillay. That's a terrific save, I think, as we have a look at the replay.
Yeah, Elias Pillay, that's a good piece of goalkeeping. It was an uncomplicated finish from Daniel Fogarty. He just relied on his technique and...
Yeah, could have perhaps dinked it over Pillay. Straight into his legs.
Major. Another save from Pillay. 10 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the match. It's Australia 1, New Zealand 0. Could very well be 1-1 after that miss by Daniel Burns. Sito forced into an error. Manikin pressing high.
Yep, good pressure.
Dan Fulton rattles the side netting. It's taken a hit off a New Zealander. It's going to result in a corner for Australia. Lockhart, Sito, Giovanali. Tight ball to give him. And Fulton's attempted toe poke deflects off Mickey Malivuk. Lockhart. Giovanali. Right ball, no far post runner.
Well, New Zealand probably well poised given what they've experienced the last 6 games they've had. 10 minutes to go and they're within a goal of Australia, and as we saw with the opportunity that presented itself to Burns, it only takes one goal and it's all level again, so I think they'll be quite happy at the moment.
Sito. Manhandled by Malivuk. Oh, Lockhart's slipped. So has Malivuk. Sincora. Manikim. Sincora. Trying to play Malivuk in. He needed more of an angle from his teammate.
Again, just the result of that pressure put on Sincora there.
Oh, Giovanali. He arrived a fraction of a second too early. Sincora, Manikim, toe poke, saved by Constantino. We'll restart with a corner.
Better from New Zealand, but once again that Australian goalkeeper, no way past him.
Sincora wastes the opportunity. Here is the toe poke and the save from Constantino, and Daniel Burns is back in the action for New Zealand. Giovanali's drifted to the far post. Fulton going forward. Fogarty, Giovanali, Fogarty, Sito. Fulton. Fogarty, good footwork from him. Fulton tried to just halt the progress of the ball as Belay came out to provide the save. Perhaps in the hope of swinging away from the goalkeeper there and protect possession of the ball. Sincora, not a good first touch. Giovanali can punish him. Oh, he's hit the post. It looked easier to score. New Zealand let off the hook. 7 minutes and 22 seconds remain. The Futsal White's going to have to start getting a little bit more direct here if they're going to pull a goal back. Manikim against Fogarty. Oh, Belay sold himself. He's taken the ball and Fulton out.
Yeah, mistake from Sincora there, Gordon, and really let off the hook there. Giovanali with the open goal in front of him.
Sincora clears the danger for New Zealand. Australia 1, New Zealand 0. Time running out for the Kiwis here. Malivuk still going. Constantino spotted that danger and raced off his line to connect with the clearance. Well played by Elias Belay. Zabalos. Burns. Manikim. Oh, Manikim almost losing control. Linked up with Burns. That's a foul. Sito not convinced. The replay might tell otherwise. Yes, that is the correct decision. In fact, so Burns at the far post. Timeout called.
Scott Gilligan calling the timeout now. Felipe Bernardi, the assistant coach, gets the tactics board out, and this is where they'll set up this free kick.
6 minutes and 16 seconds to go. New Zealand not out of it yet.
No, I think they've done well to stay in touch, Gordon. Australia have had a lot of ball, had plenty of opportunities. New Zealand could have snatched an equaliser too with from Burns earlier in the half. And so I think with 6 on the clock and they're still in the frame, it's really all they need. Bit of good fortune, nice bit of skill. Something could break for New Zealand, and then it's 1-1. Big improvement from last weekend in Wellington, where they shipped 14 goals and couldn't score.
Yes, tournament conditions suiting the Futsal Whites tonight in the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational semi-final. Burns. Now Eakins. Shot could save. And the follow through. Not good enough. Good movement from Australia. New Zealand pegged back, and the ball now in their possession. Here's another look at the free kick. Constantino strong as ever. Malivuk.
Great work from Malivuk.
Stephen Knight chewing furiously on that chewing gum. He's anxious.
Fogarty always in space. Gives it away there though.
Five minutes exactly remain. Australia 1, New Zealand 0. All it takes is one goal, one opportunity. A 2-0 deficit may be a bridge too far for New Zealand to traverse. One goal is certainly not beyond them. We've already seen Daniel Burns miss one chance. He's almost gift wrapped. Well, Eakins tumbled over. Thought there might have been a free kick there. The New Zealand bench certainly thought so and made their feelings known. Good spell for New Zealand here. Nice ball from Eakins to Malivuk. Manikim. New Zealand, nice build-up. 4 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Malivuk does well to win the ball back. Chance! Oh, and he's knocked it wide. In fairness, a standing leg was caught behind an Australian and he was forced to flail at it. Have a look here. Fogarty, 3 minutes, 43 seconds. Just lost his footing. Mickey Malivuk at the crucial moment. Burns. Malivuk. Nice pass by Burns. New Zealand need to get a hold of this ball. Manikim has taken a hard one in the face from Mark Symington. It's going to be a yellow card. 3 minutes and 20 to go. Foul count reads 1 for Australia, 2 for New Zealand at the moment. Now 2 each.
Once again, New Zealand with a set-piece routine. Burns in front of Constantinou. Kareem Osman on this near side.
Belay.
Easy for Australia there.
Eakins. Burns. Kareem Osman. Cut out by Fogarty. Nice little back heel for Sito. This to wrap it up. Zeballos, good save.
Yeah, great give and go by Fogarty too, hitting that back post, and good work from the New Zealand keeper.
Time the enemy for the futsal whites. Miscue by Sito. That's another great ball by Constantinou. Cooper. Sito might think about a shot here. Deflected off Daniel Burns. 2 minutes, 27 seconds left. Can New Zealand produce a rabbit out of the hat and take this game to extra time, perhaps? Australia pressing the ball high. Now a chance to counter-attack. Manikim. Eakins. Osman couldn't get the ball out of his feet at the crucial moment. More of a half chance than an outright goal-scoring opportunity. Osman, 1-on-1 against Sito. Taken out. 1 minute, 48 seconds left. Contrition on the part of Sito. He's dragged off the scene by Daniel Fogarty.
Gilligan's got plenty to say tonight down on the bench.
So Burns is in the D for New Zealand. He's marked by Sito. Eakins wide on the right in line with the ball. Ragud and Osman stand over it. Out of your picture, the New Zealand goalkeeper, Belay, has come up halfway. Oh, that's off the line. I don't know if it was Burns. The New Zealand player, and a chance for Cooper. One minute, 39 to go. Well, I'd like to see the replay of that shot because I have a feeling that it might have hit Burns, possibly hit Sito. Zeballos. A minute 24. Cooper. Burns trying to get a hold of the ball. Australia will just want to keep it. Zeballos. Good save. Excellent save by the keeper.
Yeah, hard to tell from that replay, Gordon, whether it was Burns or the defender.
1 minute remaining, exactly 60 seconds. New Zealand need to get a hold of the ball. Cooper and Zeballos are forward. Fogarty's dropped to halfway. 50 seconds. Zeballos. And that surely seals it for the Futsal Roos. With 46.4 seconds remaining. I think the Australians know it. And I think the New Zealanders know the game's up as well. They've gone to the flying goalkeeper. It could all be too late.
Nice goal from a tight angle, number 2 for Zeballos. Australia just a little bit too much quality for New Zealand again. But a better effort from the Futsal Whites tonight, Gordon.
No disgrace at all for New Zealand. Oh, nice turn from Osman. Opportunity for the hat-trick for Zeballos. 23.6 seconds to go. Australia 2, New Zealand 0. Eakins. Major, 20 seconds. Australia on the verge of a final berth.
Knight wanting Australia to press.
10.3 seconds to go. And Australia can rubber stamp their place in the final alongside Malaysia. New Zealand, for all their exertions this evening, are going to face Tahiti in the playoff for third place. Bile caught up court. It's all over. Australia have prevailed. It's been an entertaining game, but the Futsal Whites can be proud of their performance. They've really put in a shift here. They've operated within certain tactical limitations. Technical limitations, but tactically it's been spot on. And Australia, 4 wins from 4, will meet Malaysia in the final tomorrow. Match day 5, Saturday, July the 27th. 8 p.m. New Zealand local time as the kickoff. We'll be bringing you the action on OFC TV via our YouTube channel. And the third, fourth playoff kicks off at 5 p.m. local time, New Zealand. That's Tahiti against New Zealand. Now, Marvin Eakins, as you can see in the background of that shot, is with Olivia Hook of OFC TV.
Marvin, what a match tonight against Australia. You played really well.
Yeah, look, we had a game plan, semi-finals footy, and in a one-off game, anyone can come out on top. We had a belief that we could win tonight, and we really gave it our all.
You played 3 matches against Australia during Transat last week. You improve your level tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you can only, the more games you play at this kind of level, the better you get, and hopefully more internationals we play, and the more times we play against the Aussies, and the closer and closer we'll get, we'll be able to pinch one of these games. So
tomorrow you will have a match against Tahiti for the third place. It's going to be also a tough match.
Yeah, look, Tahiti, it's always a great battle between our two countries, and we know each other very well, and they're a good bunch of guys, but tomorrow it'll be all on because we want that spot for Thailand.
Last question, you're preparing the team for the OFC qualifier for the World Cup in 18 months.
Yeah, look, that's the big picture that we're looking forward to, and we've developed a few players through this tournament and got some young guys with some experience, and we're encouraged with what the players that are coming through, so we're really, really looking forward to that campaign.
Hey, congratulations, it was a good game.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at the highlights of the second semi-final. Giovanali nearly put Australia 2-0 up. It was this mistake from Jakob Sincora. Giovanali managed to get past the keeper, but it was an intervention by Burns that led to Giovanali's miss. Bile, the New Zealand goalkeeper, had a fantastic game. He stopped Zeballos from doubling Australia's advantage, and then this moment, well, it hit Sito and it hit Burns, I think. hit Sito's knees and brushed Burns on the way out, and then Zeballos confirmed Australia's place in the final. Fogarty played the ball from deep, Sito helped it on, and Zeballos, the quiet achiever of this Futsal Roos side, with a technically wonderful goal to witness. So we can, not quite yet, but Olivier Hook of OFC TV is going to speak to two-goal hero, Chris Zeballos.
Very tough.
Well, Chris, what a match tonight, and really tough game. We just tell about that.
Yeah, thanks. You know, New Zealand took us all the way today. We played him in the Trans-Tasman Cup. That was a pretty tough hit out, but you know, they've done their homework on us, and it was good to get the win.
Now you have a final to play tomorrow against Malaysia, a team that you met already.
Yes, yeah. Well, we played them a few times in the AFC, so they're always a tough opposition. You know, hopefully we get the job done and go home with the trophy.
It's always good to come to this kind of tournament with all Oceania countries and a few guests.
Yeah, well, now that we're part of the AFC, we don't get to play the OFC nations much anymore. But it's good to get invited, thanks to New Zealand and everyone else who invited us to the tournament. And yeah, again, we came here to try and win the tournament, so that's what we'll try to do tomorrow.
Yeah, so against Malaysia tomorrow at 8 p.m. it's going to be a tough match.
Yeah, I hope there's a big crowd. There's a good crowd here today, and hopefully everyone turns out, supports the Aussies, and you know, we can go away champions. Yeah.
Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks.
Very happy Chris Zeballos. His two goals have guided the Futsal Roos into the final of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational 2013 after a 2-0 win over New Zealand. So that concludes our coverage on match day 4 from Trust Arena. It's been our pleasure to describe the action for you, and all that is left for us to do is to bid you farewell. We'll see you tomorrow for match day 5 and the final. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and on behalf of OFC TV and my colleague Paul Tui, we'll see you tomorrow, and take care.